Hey, grab a seat because today I'm stepping in as your ultimate insider. We are completely unpacking the 2026 application guide to getting hired at Lowe's. So if you've ever even thought about throwing on that iconic red vest and joining the home improvement world, well, you are in the exact right place. But real quick, before we go any further, I need you to hit pause right now. Seriously, go click the free PDF download link down in the description for our Fast Track to Hired cheat sheet. It's got all the major takeaways from this explainer packed into one handy document. So grab that, and while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep reaching others with important information together. All right, got it? Awesome. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, why work at Lowe's? Then, finding your perfect role, acing the application process, nailing the interview, and finally, the final steps and realities of the job. Let's get moving. Section 1. Why work at Lowe's? Let's talk benefits and perks. Now, when a lot of folks think of home improvement, they naturally picture that big orange store first. But Lowe's is actually the second largest home improvement retailer in the world, with over 1,700 stores. And here's the absolute best part. Even if you literally don't know a Phillips head from a flathead right now, it totally doesn't matter. They're going to teach you everything. But the most powerful perk you get as an employee, it comes down to the single number, 10%. You get a 10% discount on everything in the store, starting right on day one. If you're a homeowner or a big DIYer, this is absolutely huge. Buying a $2,000 refrigerator? Boom, you just saved $200. Grabbing lumber for a new deck? That's easily another $150 to $300 straight back into your pocket. Active DIYers can save anywhere from $500 to over $2,000 a single year just by using this one perk. And trust me, the perks certainly don't stop at the discount. If you're working full-time, you are looking at really solid medical, dental, and vision insurance after your first 90 days. They've got a 401k with up to a 4.5% company match, and this amazing employee stock purchase plan where you can literally buy Lowe's stock at a 15% discount. Plus, they offer up to $5,250 a year in tuition assistance. Remember, home improvement is basically a recession-resistant industry, and honestly, these are top-tier corporate benefits. Okay, moving to Section 2, finding your perfect role. Let's explore the jobs at Lowe's. The career advancement here is completely real, and they love to promote from within. You can legitimately start your career ringing up items on the cash register, and over a few years, work your way all the way up to an $80,000 to $130,000 a year store manager position. Seriously. So let's break down the starting pay tiers that kick off that journey. Cashiers and sales associates generally start between $15 and $18 an hour. And that just depends on whether you live in a low, medium, or high cost of living area. Now, if you step up to a specialist role, think appliances or flooring where you're giving expert advice, you're looking at $17 to $20. Department supervisors, they jump up to $19 to $23 an hour. And hey, if you're a night owl, keep in mind they offer shift differentials. Working overnight stocking can bump your pay by an extra $1.50 to $2 an hour. But hey, I promised you the inside scoop, so here comes a little bit of tough love. This is a highly active, physically demanding job. You're going to be walking 10 or more miles a day on solid concrete floors. You will regularly lift 50 pounds, and if you end up as a stalker or receiver, you might be hoisting up to 80 pounds. You're climbing ladders, you're standing your entire shift. Just trust me on this, for those first 2 weeks, your feet are going to ache. So do yourself a massive favor and invest in a really good pair of shoes before you even walk in for your first shift. All right, Section 3, acing the application process. Let's get your foot in the door. Let's get tactical. Here is a massive insider cheat code for you. Apply in late winter, specifically February or March, to catch that spring hiring rush. Lowe's ramps up their hiring big time to prepare for the season, making it absolutely the easiest time to get in. Now, once you're ready, you need to follow these 3 steps perfectly. First, go to lowes.com/careers. Don't just apply to one single store, apply to 5 or 10 in your area if you've got them. Second, and listen closely because this is your ultimate secret weapon for getting hired in retail. Set your weekend availability to be wide open. Retail happens on the weekends, folks. If you can't work Saturdays, your chances of a callback drop off a cliff. Finally, you got to take the personality assessment. Now, this personality assessment is what filters a lot of candidates out. The secret? Just don't overthink it. Seriously, there are no trick questions here. You just need to consistently answer the scenarios as a highly reliable, team-oriented problem solver who always puts the customer first. Show them through your answers that you're dependable and eager to help, and you are going to pass this thing with flying colors. Moving right along to Section 4, nailing the interview.
Let's talk about how to answer their questions.
So, you pass the assessment and you've got that 45-minute in-person interview scheduled. First things first, dress in sharp business casual. Leave the jeans and sneakers at home. And get ready because they are absolutely going to ask you, why do you want to work at Lowe's? Now, a bad answer is just shrugging and saying, I need a job, or, well, it's close to my house. Those are huge red flags. Instead, give them this perfect answer. I want to help customers solve problems and I am eager to learn new skills. I love that Lowe's provides thorough training and I'm looking for a place where I can build a long-term career. Let me tell you, hiring managers are literally begging to hear that kind of enthusiasm. Next, they'll almost certainly ask for an example of a time you provided excellent customer service. I actually highly recommend taking a screenshot of this right now. You want to use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Tell a brief story where a customer was frustrated, you proactively checked inventory, called another location to confirm they had the item, and gave the customer specific directions. You need to prove to them with a real-life example that you are the exact type of person who will always go that extra mile to save the day for a customer.
Which brings us to Section 5, Final Steps and Realities. Let's look at what actually happens next.
Okay, you crushed the interview. What actually happens between that final handshake and putting on the vest? Here's the timeline you can expect. If they want you, the job offer comes fast, usually within a day or so. But you need to know this. Lowe's absolutely requires a pre-employment urine drug test and a comprehensive 7 to 10-year criminal background check. If you pass those hurdles within the first week, you're going to hit orientation in week 2, where you get your critical safety training and, of course, your red vest. Then expect that very first bi-weekly paycheck via direct deposit right around week 4.
Now, the brutal truth about the job itself is this. If you get hired for the spring season, from March to May, it is going to be absolute insanity. Gardening kicks off, major home construction projects start up, and the weekends are completely packed with DIYers and contractors. It is seriously going to test your physical endurance. But the silver lining, the opportunity for time-and-a-half overtime pay is massive during this window. We're talking an easy extra $500 to $1,500 a month in your pocket if you're willing to hustle. Now, before we wrap things up, we really have to talk about the elephant in the room: Lowe's versus Home Depot. Look, the starting pay and the training are pretty equal across the board. Home Depot does edge out with a 20% employee discount compared to Lowe's 10%, and they do have more physical stores. But the corporate culture is really where they differ. Home Depot is often described as a bit more intense, while Lowe's tends to be slightly more structured and a little less aggressive. Honestly, my advice is to apply to both and just see who gives you the better offer first. So here is my final provocative question for you today. Are you ready to earn your red vest? You have the insider knowledge now. You know exactly what they're looking for, and you know the secrets to acing both the assessment and the interview. Don't just sit there. Take action today. Go to lowes.com/careers, search your local stores, and put this explainer to work. You've totally got this. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.